Tommy, raise your hand, keep them up for me.
How's everybody today? Good. Well, obviously we're always, pleased and happy, to win, especially on the road in this league. Sometimes that's can be a pretty difficult task, but we also like to look at, ourselves and try to evaluate how we performed. And even though, Texas A&M really played a good game, played hard, showed a lot of heart in the game. We played a pretty ordinary game for us. I don't think we really executed the way we'd like to, with the consistency that we'd like to, in the game. And I think that, it's something that, as coaches, we take responsibility for, but also want to take responsibility for getting everybody to respond the right way so that we have a chance to improve. Help our players be the best players that they can be. Very excited and pleased that Minka was recognized as the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. You see the guys that we sort of recognize as a staff as Players of the Week. Injury updates, I think everybody will be fine. This week, Trayvon Diggs will come back and try to practice some today. Tony Brown will be day-to-day throughout the course of the week and won't be able to make a decision on him until sometime later in the week. We certainly look forward to getting back to Bryant-Denny Stadium, and there's a lot of tradition here when it comes to homecoming, and I think it's special, the kind of support and tradition that we have. It's certainly something that we respect and really look forward to being a part of. Arkansas, I think, is got a really, really good team. I think they've got some players that can really make a difference in the game, starting with the quarterback, who certainly played well against us last year. Made some fabulous throws and really good plays. They've got 3 running backs that help them be one of the most effective teams running the ball of anybody that we've played to this point. I think you can sit here and talk about what they have not done as a team, or you can say they should have beat Texas A&M, and they're very capable of scoring a lot of points and being a very good team. I think their defense is a very sound and solid group that can make a lot of mistakes, and you got to work hard to execute well to beat them. So this is going to be a challenging game. It always has been for us, and we're certainly going to prepare that way.
We'll start over here on the right with Chandler.
What are some of the challenges that are unique to junior college players that transfer in here, and to that end, how has Isaiah Buggs really come along since he got here?
Well, I think Isaiah's gotten better and better every week. He certainly probably played his best game in the last game. I think that, one of the things that he's a very instinctive player. He's strong. He's got athletic ability. He can finish on the quarterback. I think one of the things that we really worked hard, and this has been a little bit of an issue, and it was working well for us until we lost to Sean Hand, is how we rotate the front guys to keep them fresh. And because when he gets a little bit tired, it affects him some as a player, which is not all his fault. I mean, we need to keep guys in the game that are fresh, and he's getting better at it. But I think we also need to help him a little bit by making sure that we're rotating enough that he can stay fresh.
We'll go there second row with John Senior.
It seems, from outside looking in, every time you guys have a close game early in the season or are challenged in the fourth quarter, you come back better. Are those games that you can build on, that a team can kind of grow from?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I hope people can look at this game and see how did they advance themselves, in terms of the way they played. Is this, a game that you would tell everybody, yeah, watch me in this game because I really played well? If you can't say that, then you should, take a real look in the mirror and say, what do I need to do to get better here? as coaches, we want to try to help these guys every way they can improve. But the preparation, the right mindset when you get to the game, understanding the challenge that you have when you play on the road, understand the things that you did well and the things that you did poorly and how it could have affected the outcome of the game. And, you know, all those things to me are really, really important. How did we play? How much did it affect us making line calls or whatever because we had a lot of noise in the game? I mean, all these things are things that we should learn from, grow from, be able to improve as a team. And, you know, I do think sometimes when things don't go well, people are a little more willing to respond, and I'm hopeful that our team will respond well in this circumstance.
You're in the middle with Terry.
Offensively, when it comes to fourth down, what all goes through your mind on deciding to go for it or punt?
You know, first of all, it's situational relative to field position, handling distance, how we feel about our short yardage versus the other team's short yardage defense. And I think the situation in the game relative to what does a field goal do, how does it affect going for it. I think a lot of times when it's a short yardage situation, the percentages are a lot higher. When I say that, I'm talking about 4th and 1. I don't usually answer hypothetical questions, but if we had got it to 4th and 1 in the game, I think I would have gone for it and not kicked a field goal at the end of the game. So, you know, we've gone for it on 4th and 1 in games before, so the other team didn't get the ball back in 2 minutes and made it. You know, when you make those decisions, you got to have a lot of confidence in the players that they're going to be able to execute, and you know you're going to get a first down. But at the same time, you know, when you have 4th and 1 on the 27-yard line and you don't kick a field goal, and you make it, and then you go on down and end up kicking a field goal anyway, you actually took a chance for pretty much nothing except increasing the odds on making a closer field goal, which sometimes that may not be worth it.
Back here in the middle, Michael.
So on the play to kick off that was fumbled by A&M, and it looked like a few guys were going for it with Alabama. What happened on that play, and what should have gone better for it?
Well, nothing should have gone better. I mean, the guys tried to recover it, and he batted the ball, and you know, everybody went for the ball, and our guys got it. I think it was a great effort on our guys' part to knock the ball out, and we had great effort trying to get to the ball. So, I mean, I've never coached a team that gets 100% of the balls that go on the ground. So it doesn't mean something went wrong just because you didn't get it. I think, you know, Dylan Moses tried to recover it. He ended up knocking it toward the goal line, which put it further away from all players. And one of their players was closer to it than ours, and our guys did a great job of trying to get to it. And they ended up getting the ball at the 1-yard line.
Come back over here with Charlie.
How have you seen Josh Frazier progress this season and really over the course of his career?
I think Josh is playing the best football he's played since he's been here. I think he's in better shape. You know, Josh is really a run-stopping nose guard type guy for us who plays a lot more when we play against regular teams, which we will. These guys are in regular a lot, which means we play regular. He plays some in nickel. We don't play him a lot in pass rush situations. When he's gone in there, he's done a good job for us, and he's someone that you can count on to do exactly what you expect to get from him, and he's done a good job from that standpoint.
On the other side with Ryder.
How do you expect Robert Foster to respond after what was a challenging sequence in that second half?
Well, you know, we're always hopeful that players can focus on the next play. I know that was what I was trying to get him to do when I talked to him when he came off the field. I just said, hey, you got to focus on the next play. You know, don't worry about that. Don't get frustrated with that. Focus on the next play. You know, he had actually 3, you know, not so good plays in a row. But you know, no player wants to not play well. I mean, he doesn't want to line up in the wrong formation. He doesn't want to drop a pass. He doesn't want to fumble the ball. So, you know, he's as frustrated about it as anybody. but I think he has to overcome his frustrations and overcome the adversity of those circumstances and situations and focus on what he needs to do better. And that's what we'll encourage him to do, and hopefully that's the way he'll respond.
Back in the middle of that.
What have you seen from David Harris as far as specifically his ability to break away from tackles and then get downfield quicker than maybe he has in the past? And when you're in a game situation, how much are you weighing production of a player, in a game, a la Derrick Henry in the past when he's building up production as it goes when you're deciding reps?
Well, first of all, Damian's, played really well for us this year. I think he's played really well for us in the past when he's been healthy. He's been able to stay healthy, so far this year. Makes good cuts, good decisions, runs the plays the way they're designed to be run, and he has good burst and acceleration when there is an opening, and he's made more explosive runs for us than anybody else on our team. But I still feel that in the long run, the way he's playing, the way we're using the backs is probably the best thing for our team, because maybe one of the reasons that he is healthy and he's staying healthy and able to do what he's doing is because we're playing more guys at the position he doesn't have to play as many plays. And I'd rather see him do that over the long haul of the season rather than start running him 30 times in a game and all of a sudden he's not able to run at all. So I do, in all honesty, when we're standing on the sidelines and we got somebody that's hot, that's running well and making yards, I'm going to play that guy a little bit more. But still, I'm not going to try to kill the guy or wear him out.
Come back on the other side with Cecil.
I've got a couple. First, LeBron Ray, how's his progress been so far? We obviously noticed him on Saturday, and what can he contribute going forward?
Well, I think that it was our plan to probably redshirt LeBron, not thinking that he would play, that much. We actually tried to play him an outside backer when we had all the guys get injured and we lost the backers. But now that we moved him back to defensive end and we, lost a player there, we felt like he was going to have more opportunity to play, and we needed to play him, and it would actually enhance his development to play because we felt like he was a very instinctive, good, play hard kind of guy, and he is all that, and he is smart, and he's able to go in there and execute and play and react the way we'd like for him to. So he's developed nicely, and we're going to continue to play him.
And this is philosophical, it's not related to anything specific, but when practices are physical, tempers get up and guys get in a fight in practice, how do you handle that as a head coach?
Well, first of all, I think that what I try to get the players to understand is that respect for the other players on your team is a big part of being able to trust the other players on your team. So to respect the other guy's effort and what he's trying to do to get better, which will really, in essence, help you get better if he's competing well against you, should not be something that should create a negative circumstance and a negative situation that would cause people to make emotional decisions. We try to use it as a learning opportunity because I usually take both guys out of practice when they do that. And I say, you guys would be kicked out of the game or get a 15-yard penalty, one or the other. But these are the kind of choices and decisions when you make them emotionally that usually are things that you're sorry for, you wish you didn't do, that have negative consequences for you and the team. So we need I want you to play with a lot of toughness, I want you to be aggressive, I want you to be relentless in how you compete, but making emotional decisions that get you penalties are not the way to show your toughness and doesn't really help our team in any way.
Two more, we'll start with Dwayne.
Coach, excuse me, sorry. Obviously, the three freshmen, Smith, Ruggs, and Judy, how would you assess their play through the first 6 games, and what do you feel like they got to do to continue to get opportunities on the field?
I think they're getting opportunities on the field. They're playing almost just as much as the other guys, and we think it's important that all these guys play well, and we're going to continue to work with those guys and help they progress and help their experience and knowledge that they gain in the plays that they play, help them play with more consistency and work on the things that they need to improve on so that they can be as productive performers as possible. And we think all those guys can contribute to our team. That's why we used them from day one, and I've been pleased with their performance and production, and we'll continue to use them in the future.
I'm going to wrap things up with Joe in the back.
Hey, Coach, you kind of touched on this a little bit already, but in the context of developing and growing a team over the course of a season, do you need games like you had this past Saturday where there is a little bit of adversity and the outcome isn't out in the fourth quarter?
Look, as a coach, you always want to see your team play well, and I think we got punched in the nose a little bit, especially when we fumbled the ball and they scored a touchdown and the crowd got into the game and they got the momentum of the game. And I think it's important that your team learns how to respond to that. I guess we could debate as to whether we responded very well to that or not. In my opinion, not as well as we need to. So there's definitely an opportunity to learn something from that experience, and that's what we'll try to, take from this.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.